again. This is Dr. Keith Henry with another quick wellness news nugget. Hope you're doing okay today. We have an interesting nugget. It comes from the website consumeraffairs.com. This story was actually published a few days ago, about 6 days ago, but it was published on many different outlets. And here, this particular one was published on the 10th. Some outlets published it on a couple of days ago. I just chose this one. I could have chose one of many different ones, but I chose Consumer Affairs, and most of the articles say basically the same thing. It's basically 12,000 doctors basically got together. This particular committee, we'll talk about it here, and they're asking the FDA to add cancer warning labels to cheese products. It says physicians say consumers should be aware of the link between dairy products and increased risk of dying to breast cancer. And the article starts off by saying the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM, a group comprised of 12,000 medical professionals, has submitted a petition requesting that the FDA add breast cancer warnings to cheese product labels. Now, let me pause here and say, if you haven't listened to this before, I do a quick wellness news nugget. I'm a naturopathic doctor, and I take a few minutes, typically 5 to 7 minutes, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little bit more, but typically 5 to 7 minutes, to pick out an article that's come out during the past week and basically discuss it give my perspective as a natural health practitioner. Now, I totally agree with this. Cheese is acidic to the body. It lays the foundation and actually can cause inflammation in the body. And not only is it associated with breast cancer, but many other cancers and many other diseases, because it lays the foundation for inflammation, and it actually causes inflammation and mucus in the body. The article goes on to say high-fat dairy product consumption has been linked to higher breast cancer mortality rates in women previously diagnosed with the disease, the doctor said, citing findings from a recent study. In the petition, the article goes on to say the group provided one possible example of a cheese warning label that they believe would be appropriate. And this is what they thought, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine said. It should sound something like this. Quote, dairy cheese contains reproductive hormones that may increase breast cancer mortality risk. The doctors noted that breast cancer is one of the most common causes of death in women, and in light of the apparent link between dairy product consumption and the increased risk of dying from breast cancer, these physicians are pushing for warning labels to be added to these products. The article points out further how studies have shown that trace amounts of estrogen contained in dairy products become more concentrated during the process of converting milk into cheese, and the estrogen appears to heighten the risk of dying from breast cancer among women previously diagnosed with the disease. Instead of cheese manufacturers like Kraft slapping a pink ribbon on products like Philadelphia cream cheese and macaroni and cheese, as they have done during previous breast cancer awareness months, they should be adding warning labels. PCRM President Neil Barnard, MD, said in a statement, "We want women to be aware that dairy cheese could put them at risk of dying from breast cancer." And again, as a natural practitioner, I wholeheartedly agree. I've seen many, many women with cancer, and when you look at how they eat, almost all of them in their diet were consuming significant amounts of dairy, cheese, milk, many times flesh. And of course, you can eat very well and have high amounts of stress over a long period of time, and you can develop breast cancer as well, or any type of cancer for that matter. It could be some other type of cancer. But if you're eating dairy or flesh meat or milk, drinking milk, any type of dairy, cheese, and cheese is even more concentrated than just milk, I highly recommend that you switch over to plant-based alternative milks, so like almond milk or rice milk or even soy milk, especially if you make it yourself. As opposed to some of the highly processed soy milk that you can get. But even that, I would say, would be better than eating cheese and drinking milk from an animal. But especially, I want to stay on code here in talking about the cheese, though, which is, as this article goes on to point out, it says that the life after cancer epidemiology study found that women previously diagnosed with breast cancer had a 49% higher risk of dying from the disease if they consumed one or more servings of high-fat dairy products such as cheese, ice cream, or whole milk per day. This particular petition was submitted on October 3rd at the beginning of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It says, quote, to ensure that Americans understand the potential significant risks and resulting long-term costs of consuming dairy cheese products, the FDA should ensure that the notice above is prominently placed on product packaging and labeling for all dairy cheese products, the petition said. So again, this article was published on many different outlets and many different websites, and I wholeheartedly agree with it that cheese, milk products, dairy products, because of their potential, because of their ability rather to um, be mucus forming and to cause inflammation in the body, set you up for disease, including breast cancer and other cancers. And so again, take heed to this. You would do yourself well if you were a female, anyone for that matter. But we're talking about this article specifically for breast cancer. So if you're a female, please consider going for plant-based sources of milk and getting away from these animal products. Thank you for listening. This has been another quick news nugget from Dr. Keith Henry. Until next time, take care.